What is a verb tense and how many English verb tenses are there? You want to know the answer? Then stay tuned to the rest of the video. Welcome back and welcome to Everything English with me, Teacher Loki. What is a verb tense and how many English verb tenses are there? A verb tense refers to the time the action in a sentence is accomplished. In reality, an action can be done in the past, in the present, or in the future. Aside from the verb tenses, the English verbs can also have certain aspects. A verb aspect determines whether the verb expresses a fact, an ongoing action, a completed action, or the end of an ongoing action. In simpler terms, the verb aspect are the specific situations of the verbs. The English language has 4 verb aspects, namely simple, perfect, progressive, and perfect progressive. In this video, we will only be discussing the simple aspect of the verb. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start learning. The simple aspect of the verb is used when there are certain time expressions in the sentence. Time expressions are phrases that tell when an action has happened. For example, for past time expressions, we have yesterday, last week, an hour ago. For present time expressions, we use every day, every week, or every month. While for future time expressions, we can use tomorrow, next week, or next month. Now let us start learning the simple aspect. Let's begin with a simple aspect in the past tense. It refers to an action that happened in the past with an actual past time. Take note, there should be a particular time expression or time phrase to tell or to indicate that the action happened in the past. For example, I ate pizza yesterday. The past time expression is yesterday. She passed her project last week. The past time expression is last week. And Laurel received the mail this morning. The past time expression is this morning. Now, how do we write the simple past form? There are 2 ways. One way is to add the ed or the d to the verb. For example, we have walk plus ed equals walked. Change plus d equals changed. Another way is not to change the spelling at all. For example, read will still be spelled as read, but will be read differently. Okay? Next is hit, and we still have the past form hit. The next verb form is the simple aspect in the present tense. There are 4 conditions when using the simple aspect in the present tense. Take note of these. Here are the 4 conditions. Number 1, use the simple aspect in the present tense or the simple present tense when you want to express a customary present action, or the action is habitual or it is regularly done. For example, I eat pizza every day. The time expression there that tells that it is regularly done is every day. The second condition is if it expresses a state of being. It can be a temporary state of being. For example, she is sick. So no need for a time expression there because the speaker and you as the listener can already tell that it is a temporary state of being. The third condition for the simple present tense is if you want to express a statement of fact. So for example, the world is spherical in shape. That is a statement of fact. The fourth condition is when you want to express a permanent location or condition. For example, he lives in New Jersey with his fiancée. So, how do we write the simple present form or the simple present tense then? The simple present tense uses the base form of the verb. But you have to consider, of course, the subject-verb agreement rules. The general rule in the subject-verb agreement is, if the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb has to be plural. The last verb form to be discussed in this video is the simple aspect in the future tense. Use the simple aspect in the future tense when you want to express an action that is set to happen in the future. That's why it's called the future tense, right? So for example, we have I will eat pizza tomorrow. Now the future tense is like the past tense, where you have to use a time expression or a time phrase. For the sentence a while ago, I will eat pizza tomorrow, the time expression is tomorrow. Another example would be, he will rush to the hospital after an hour. So the time expression there is after an hour. Now, how do we write the simple aspect in the future tense? When using this verb form, write the word will or shall, then followed by the base form of the verb. I repeat, the base form of the verb. For example, will plus lead equals will lead. Will plus watch equals will watch. Shall plus transport equals shall transport. And you're all set. But of course, before we end this discussion, let's do a wrap up like we always do. Here are the 3 verb tenses in the simple aspect. Number 1. The simple aspect in the past tense, or we call it as well simple past tense, we use it with a past time expression. Number 2. The simple aspect in the present tense, we use this when we want to express a fact, we want to express a state of being, we want to express a customary, regular, or habitual action, and we want to express a permanent location or condition. And the last verb form for this video is the simple aspect in the future tense, or also called as the simple future tense. We use this when we want to express an action that is set or yet to happen in the future time. And that's a wrap for today's video of English verb tenses. Keep tuning in for the next lesson about the progressive aspect of the verb tenses. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this video. I'll make sure and I promise to keep these English lessons coming. And of course, please support me by liking and sharing this video. And don't you ever forget to subscribe to this channel. Also, if you are interested in my personal life, you may watch my personal vlogs. I will paste the link in the description box below. If you have questions about English language and literature, then don't be shy to comment it down, and I'll make sure to answer them in my next content. Thank you once again, everyone, for watching. I am Teacher Loki, and this is Everything English. Enjoy learning!